actually live, as the crow flies, about, I'd say, 5 miles from the Rockwool proposed factory. Um, and so it's something that's going to be definitely would impact my life. I would say my most forefront concerns would be the pollutants that are going to affect the people that will be here and breathing it in. But I'm also extremely concerned about any accidents or things that would affect our water. The water is a different type of system here that isn't going to, say, clean out very quickly if there's an accident. When I first found out and heard the word Rockwool and started finding out what it meant, at first I really was perplexed. I couldn't wrap my mind around how something like this could take hold and so many people not know what was going on right around us. I really feel like the reason we didn't know, at first I thought shame on me for just not paying attention to what's going on. But as we did more and more, I did more and more research and checking into it, found out how the local entities, government entities, actually this was their motive. They didn't want us to know through different videos and of meetings and different papers that have had to be FOIA'd. We found out that they literally have said that they didn't want us to know because we'd be upset. I feel like the fact that they went out of their way to keep this from us, I feel betrayed. I feel like the people that we thought were our neighbors that were in the public office, thinking that they were doing that because they shared the same love as many of us here in Jefferson County, were actually either running their own agenda or ignorant. In either case, that doesn't bode well with me for somebody who's supposed to be looking out for their constituents. I'm extremely concerned about the air, and that actually does affect everything, because the air, it's not going to just go on up and disappear. So it is going to come down and affect the land where our children play, where our animals eat, our crops that we eat. So the air is not just the air. And then, of course, filters down into our water. So it's all interconnected. I feel like a catastrophic leak or problem with the water could be a quicker demise if there were to be a breach of their ponds or such, that could show itself to be detrimental quicker than what the air is going to take a little longer. As far as them having holding ponds, I'm not a big fan of that idea in any situation, but having a karst topography or geology here where the sinkholes are prevalent everywhere. They're on the fog lines on the roads. They're on the Rockwool property. They're everywhere. Everybody knows that we have sinkholes. And of course, sinkholes bring all the water and things right down into our aquifer, which is, what we drink. So the idea of having ponds makes no sense, because according to their own paperwork, they're not supposed to use catch water. They're supposedly under contract to use the water from the water utility. So why would they be catching rain when, in fact, I think it's just a sneaky way to actually discharge their water that they're treating, but I have no proof of that. I feel like having this type of industry, at this point we're talking Rockwool specifically, but this movement towards heavy industry is going to take the beautiful county, the self-supporting county, and turn it into a place that we won't recognize. I feel like many people will leave the area. Those that can certainly will. And I feel like it's going to hurt the tourism. I mean, you don't go to up on, these high vistas to look at the lay of the land to see smokestacks in the distance. You don't see people coming to factory-laden areas to ride their bikes or go for walks. It's going to change the uses of this county, and I don't see how any of the changes are going to be productive to the citizens or the economy. I feel like the fact that they are building this factory right near our schools, actually on not just one side, but pretty much surrounded, by schools. One of them, not even a half a mile or so as the crow flies from the factory, is, I can't imagine anybody even thinking that's a good idea to subject all of our children to this type of pollution. And there is, by their own paperwork, we could not come in tomorrow and build a school next to where they're building this factory. Well, I believe it's even hospitals and other type of healthcare facilities that are not able to be built this close to the factory, where they're placing the factory right next to our elementary school.